here's the teaser for today's project, but this is a preface to the video with the 7310s. It's going to be a little longer and drawn out, and I'll probably ramble, and there's some tuning footage, so just, you know, scoot through it if you want. That's just your heads up, but thanks for watching whatever you watch. Alrighty, today we're testing out 7310s, and my camera is slowly going down. This one is just a muffler mod and base gasket delete. It's stock timing in the cylinder. Haven't ground in the cylinder at all, so I have to figure out what log to use for comparison. Just as a reference, that's a 32-inch bar on that saw, and we probably got, I don't know, 42-inch log. The chain is Oregon EXL that I ground. That's so if it doesn't cut good, it's my fault. And then I have a 24 with a brand new Husqvarna C83 chain that hopefully we can do some comparison cuts with after I have the other two saws tuned in. So let me get set up and we'll get started. Alright, I'm just going to do some tune-in cuts here, and then I think we'll go to the other log. I got one that looks a little more consistent, and we'll go from there. I already pre-warmed this. the bulk of the cut, and this is so it's a subjective RPM in the cut is the subjective thing where you have a ton of variables, species of wood, the chain, blah blah blah. These are the three same saws. They're going to have different port timing numbers, but they're all going to run the same bar and chain in the same log. So as a reference, I feel comfortable handing that number out. It's between 78 and 8,500 in the bulk of the cut. Now I'll go switch it to one of the other ones. It's an older rendition of port work that I've done, and I'll see how that one turns compared to this one. Okay, we'll see that now the saws have changed just based on, hey, this one's got a wrap handle and a, am I talking to nobody? Oh no, the screen was dark and I thought I was talking to nobody. So yeah, this one's got a wrap handle and a different muffler mod. I come over here, I did an outlet in the side, and so now it's a dual outlet. It's got one on the top, one on the side. This one got to warm up a little bit. I have to tune it, so let's just brush up on that real quick. This model of saw has an RPM limited ignition coil. How do you determine where your tune is best suited at with an RPM limited coil? If you want my opinion, using a tach is the best way to do that, because you can get your low and your idle screw set by ear pretty easily. You can dial in your idle RPM really well with the tach, but then when you get into trying to tune your high screw, you can run into a situation where the port work or the timing numbers, it may want to rev to 14, 15,000 free rev. This one's limited to 13,500. So what you do is you make a big cut, and while you're in the cut, you watch the tach. And then if the saw is starting to sound lean or rich in the cut, stop, adjust, watch the tach again. It's in my opinion, it's the most consistent method. You still have variables like how hard you're pushing on the handle, your chain, the species of wood. But in the end, you can tune it under a load and fine tune your RPM under load to where it's as high as possible. If you have the highest RPM under a load, that is the optimum air-fuel ratio. It's not lean, it's not rich. That is optimum for the machine. If you're concerned about it really sounds like it's screaming, just back the highest screw out like an eighth, quarter of a turn, something around there, to where it does fatten it up a little bit. You may lose 200-300 RPM on top, but if you're in a big monster cut, it's you know, you really don't have a chance of overheating it because you're supplying it with extra fuel and excess oil. It's no longer combusting optimally, so you have reduced the amount of heat and added additional lubricant during the combustion process. So now it's time to get it tuned in. stock with muffler mod was pulling like between 8 and 8,500, I think is what it was. This one is pulling between 9 and 10, so just call it 9,500. That's, you know, you gained 1,000 RPM in the cut with a 32-inch bar. That's pretty good gain to me. Yeah, and I'm cutting everything crooked because I just like to build stuff. I'm not, you know, not skilled as an operator. Alright, this is the most recent 7310 I did. It's the one that I had the video of the cylinder up from a few days ago. I think I got it tuned in. Let's run a tune cut, and then I'll have to find something to compare them all in. Alright, that's definitely the strongest one. And I'll show you why. Look at how crooked that last cut is. So it was bound up in there and still pulling hard. I mean, it ain't even straight across the top. That was like 9,500 to 10.5. It's significantly stronger than the other one. That's why the other guy got such a good deal on that cylinder. It's because he was just buying my old cylinder. It's a ton better than stock, but this is progress I've made in the past year or so. Yeah, the fella that's getting this one should be super happy with it. Now I have to find something to do time cuts for all of these. So this is not ideal at all. This is some of that wood that boosts your self-esteem. It's just some kind of cedar that sat out here cured for a few years. I really don't have anything consistent enough to do true timed cuts, but this should be a decent representation of increase between the saws. And yeah, you're gonna say, oh, the wood's gonna get smaller as you go further down, but it's missing this wedge here, so that's, you know, this much. I think that it's all going to work itself out. So let me get it propped up so I'm not just throwing a chain in dirt, and I'll do some rough time cuts. First up is the stock saw, or base gasket delete muffler mod saw. Like I said, it's not anything that's gonna tax the saw. It's gonna boost my self-esteem. I mean, it just shattered into pieces over there. It smells nice though. Okay, next one. This is the old build. I'm not even trying to claim that this is anything that's representative of consistent test media. Last one. So there you go. That's testing in this old cedar log. The other testing was in oak, and it's just kind of, it is what it is, because it's, and these are some really big trunks. It's great for test and tune, but it's not the best for time cuts, because it's inconsistent. But it is awesome for test and tune to have something that big where you can really put a load on a machine. And that's probably all my saw stuff for today, unless I do a theory video this evening or something. But enjoy the rest of your day. It's actually not disgustingly hot in South Texas. It's in the low 90s today, so that's freaking awesome.